most disgusting person on this podcast, can I just tell you?
I wear that with pride, so, you know.
Yes, you are. And you take us down disgusting rabbit holes.
I'm glad. I'm here to do that.
Hello and welcome to The Great Beyond, an Is This Good companion pod where I catch up with my friend and yours, Jason Doyle.
Hello.
Hi, JD. Thanks for coming and producing the show. She hates algorithms as much as her husband. It's Rachel Doyle.
Hi. Sorry, I'm on too soon. I'm not paying attention.
What do you mean?
Oh, that's
I normally
okay.
start with you two.
Oh.
Here I am.
I like when I read the intro and in theory to the listener, neither of you are there because they haven't heard your voices, and you both just nod along.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. As I say, this is The Great Beyond, you're both like, that's correct. Wait, let me check my phone. No, yep, that's correct. This is The Great Beyond.
Here we
This
are.
is The Great Beyond. So, yeah, you got a problem with YouTube, Rachel?
I'm tired of trying to figure this shit out. Like, I give up.
Yeah, what?
There's nothing
Well,
wrong.
how far into trying to figure it out did you get?
No, it's just been a while. I'm like, there's got to be a way to there's got to be a rhyme to the reason, a method to the madness. And I don't think there is. I mean,
Matt, you don't, this is 24/7 here. You don't understand. Like, we've created a monster.
Okay, say what we're talking about.
We're
we haven't
talking
actually
about
said what we're talking about.
uploading a short to YouTube. Rachel takes the shows, she scours them, she lifts out the parts that she finds the most amusing, the most entertaining, the most salient. Then she packages them into a vertical short, under 60 seconds video that goes on our social platforms. But YouTube in particular has an algorithm that I said it on the drop last week, how it reminds me of a pearl-clutching 1930s school marm who is tut-tutting at everything, but it really enjoys it when you're negative. And Rachel will post a video, and then literally, I'm not even exaggerating, 5 minutes later, she's like, we're being censored. We're being censored.
it's a fussy little bitch of a censorship, and I'm fucking tired of it. Literally, the only thing wrong was fucking, and it was so, I don't even know if they could make out that he was saying fucking. Was it the fact
How
that
do you know that's what was wrong? though?
Yeah,
that's
you
my
don't.
question.
he was talking about a bed? Like,
Okay.
is it, you can't talk about beds on YouTube now and duvet covers? Are you fucking kidding me?
No,
Okay,
but my question is, if it was an insanely popular video where it was Joe Rogan saying fuck to, I don't know, David Letterman or something, that
Right.
video would probably do just fine.
So why are there like 45 views?
Well, when did you put it out?
This morning. No, this is like, it's like,
You put out
you're
this morning.
1,700 views lower than normal. So
But-
something's awry.
Right. Keep in mind, Matt, she releases 2 videos a day, so she's constantly monitoring them, constantly.
Look, I don't know if you know this about me, but I have a bit of an obsessive personality. So when I get into something,
But-
I get into it.
I think what Matt's saying is, and what I think we need to accept is that we don't know what the algorithm wants, and we just have to put stuff out there and not care about what for all we know, it's Chris Martin's English accent that it objects to.
Maybe they don't like the theory of using 2 duvets over one.
Yeah, they're in Big Duvet's pocket. I don't know.
Well, if you want to know what the YouTube algorithm wants, all right, let's reset. 3, 2, 1. This country will only truly be free when we send Dr. Anthony Fauci to Siberia where he belongs.
That's right. Preach.
Also, I have some controversial views about Jews that I've been dying to tell you.
Oh man, I was wondering when we get to this.
It had to happen eventually.
That's what they want, man. They just want anger and outrage, or they want you to be famous, or can I tell you? So I had a bit of a bout of insomnia over the weekend, and I was
sorry to hear
up basically all night. Just instead of like taking out a book like a fucking idiot, I just take out my phone and I'm a scrolling, and I saw a Instagram reel where it was recommending a place in Los Angeles that looked good, and I started to notice. I was like, it's so weird that they're like, as the temperature drops, you'll definitely want to come to this place, the coziest restaurant in all of Los Angeles, with an open fire burning in the center, a hearth that is sure to warm your heart on a chill. And I'm like, but what is the place? They don't ever say what the place is. So I'm like, and I've been noticing this, and I'm in my head, I'm like, it cannot be that everyone is putting effort into going to a place, filming content, writing their little write-up, doing the captions, and then forgetting to mention the place. I'm like, something is up. So I'm scrolling through the comments, and everyone's like, what place is this? What place is this? And then I come upon a comment, and the guy's like, don't you guys realize that this is on purpose, that they're not saying what it is? Because this is what happens. They don't say what it is. You go to the comments to ask, what place is this? That's one engagement. Then other people that know what place it is go into the comments to be know-it-alls and go, the place is this. And then while you're scrolling through looking for what place it is, or leaving a comment or reading the comments, the reel is looping and looping and looping, thereby getting more plays. So you got to start thinking like a fucking psychopath, Rachel.
Yeah. Oh, no, I got that down, but I have to do it in a different way.
It's pure tricks at this point.
Yeah, totally.
I know it's never been purely about how good a piece of content is. There's always been some razzle dazzle. There's always been marketing. There's always been sizzles and not steaks. But this would be kind of the equivalent of like when we had the starters on TV. If we were like, hey, on the TV guide, because this was so long ago there were still cable. We just put in our time slot, Seinfeld reunion show.
Right.
So people would be like, totally. Oh my God, Jerry, Elaine, George Kramer, the whole gang's getting back together for the first time in, 30 years? And then they just turn on and it's just, Skeets and Tass and Trade and Lee talking about the NBA.
Right. Yeah.
Or I don't know, like it's the same show, but on the screen behind them, instead of, looping the show's title, we just put porn in there. Mm-hmm. And then everyone is like, why are they showing porn? There must be a reason. And then before they know it, they've watched the show for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just tricks.
Yep.
So give up.
So why don't you think what you can do, Rachel, to essentially say, yeah, we put a lot of effort into the show. Yes, you put a lot of effort into cutting these shorts and posting them. But figure out a way to ignore all that and just do a trick that makes them appealing to people.
Yeah, so keep overanalyzing, but be more get to the point. Figure it out. Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. Well, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
The next one you cut will do great, and then you'll be like, I love the algorithm.
Oh, fuck. Don't fucking talk to me
that's
like
true.
that,
It giveth and it taketh away.
That's
if the algorithm ever favors us, you're going to love it. And here's the thing. You're not even going to know, it's like it's the algorithm we're all swimming in. Yeah. You're not even going to know it's the algorithm. You're just going to be going, wow, the show's doing great. And then behind your back and be like, no, that's just the algorithm boosting you. The show still sucks. It sucked before and it sucked now.
Fuck this shit and just fucking swim. Just stay above water.
Exactly.
Keep going.
Tread water.
That's right. That's right. Did anything good or not good happen to you this week, JD?
Yes. Something bad happened. I went on a new medication trying to to prevent my headaches. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
A 30-year process you've been on.
Yeah. So what is happening upstairs? Do you hear that?
Do you want me to scream?
Someone's got their girlfriend over.
Jackson! What are you doing? Fuck.
It's like a skateboard or something rolling back and forth. And I wonder why
I told you not to put the half pipe in your room.
Jesus Christ.
It's fine. The audience can't even hear it. I started a new medication, and then I stopped it immediately because it was...
But you said you were going to cut it down to half to see if that made it better, and you didn't. You just...
I cold turkeyed it. I'm going to go back to maybe a halfie. But it was like making me stupid. I was no energy, didn't want to do anything. Ugh.
Is it like an opioid or what was it?
No. God, I wish it was an opioid. I'm so jealous of drug addicts sometimes,
Oh. They're really living the life.
Jason, please.
Drug addicts sometimes feel good. That's all. That's all I'll say.
I'd be too good at being a drug addict. Like, it's just, I gotta stay away from the good stuff.
I'm obviously kidding. But yeah, no, it's it's a beta blocker, so it just slows your heart, I guess, or something. I don't know.
So you needed those betas. You need those betas.
I need the betas. I need my heart rate. Anyways, so I felt.
Well, did you get a headache while you were taking it?
I didn't. See, that's the thing.
Well,
I didn't.
So maybe.
So yeah.
Maybe your intelligence is what's giving you a headache.
I think that's what.
Thinking, analyzing,
that's
contemplating.
Right. That's right. So, anyways, it was a rough week for me. So yeah, now I have a screaming headache right now. But at least I don't feel like falling. Like literally, all I wanted to do was lie down on the couch and go to sleep all week. Like it was awful. But that's it.
We had a similar thing happen this week, except the dog has arthritis, so they gave it an NSAID. Like NSAIDs are like Advil, Tylenol, which I didn't know dogs could take. But there's one, I think it's called like carprofen or something like that. Anyways, that's the one they prescribed him, and they were like, okay, just observe the dog because it could lead to a sour stomach. And I'm like, sour stomach? What's that? And, like maybe vomit or something like that. I'm like, okay. Give the dog a pill. The dog, first he puked. Then he shat all over the floor in the middle of the night.
Okay.
Just like what you did. Sorry.
By the next day, we stopped giving him this drug.
Yeah.
And I woke up at 4 a.m. to him like sprinting around. And this was the night I had insomnia, actually. So I had to put down my phone and my explorations of the algorithm. And ran outside at 4 a.m. And I said, you know what? God damn those people that say having a pet is not like having a child. Because I've cleaned up more piss, shit, and puke and woken up in the middle of the night to take them out. And I think that I should be called a parent now.
Yeah, I think you absolutely should be. I mean... Thank you. Yeah. This is a dog that's older, though, not a, like...
Well, that's why people say... I always feel like people say, like, oh, having a puppy is like having a kid, because you're comparing young to young. But maybe having a senior dog is like having a kid.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Taking them to the vet, just like you're taking the kid to get their early vaccines and shots and things like that.
Yeah. Yep.
It's the same. So I don't see any differences.
Now, so your cure for insomnia, did you try masturbation?
Well, I'm lying right next to my girlfriend, Rachel.
Well, I mean, go to another room if she's asleep.
No, I'm not going to go to another room.
I mean, I can't remember what I was reading, but it was definitely like, it was a
Penthouse Forum.
It was a historical nonfiction, and it was talking about the Roman soldiers used to fucking like group masturbate before they went to war because it relieved anxiety. Maybe you're having a little anxiety. You need to put yourself to sleep.
That's so interesting because you would think that, how they tell boxers like do not have sex, do not masturbate because the eye of the tiger, you're gonna spill it out of you.
Right.
It's in your jizz, is what I'm saying. And
maybe
it's interesting to me that in those Roman like stoic-y times that they would be like, yeah, go ahead, do it. You would think that they would think it would make them lose focus and be too loosey-goosey.
I think it would take the edge off. Like if you feel like...
Yeah, they want an edge. They're about to murder people.
Yeah.
Carthaginians, Rachel. They're coming over the Alps on elephants.
Maybe this was a sexy dream. Maybe it wasn't a historical nonfiction. It's just a group sex fantasy I had.
Yeah, Rachel's like, yeah, boys, that Rubicon's empty. Why don't you fill it with your sweet Roman jizz?
Relax, baby. Just do what you gotta do. Group style.
We ride at dawn, but first, circle jerk.
Oh, Bukkake was born. Sorry.
What?
Isn't that a group thing?
Well, yes.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound Roman.
Oh, no, it doesn't at all.
Maybe.
Different culture, sorry.
Whose turn is it to be in the center? Lascivious, get over here.
Bukkake e Pepe. That sounds Roman.
Okay.
Okay, see, that's disgusting.
Try this.
You're the most disgusting person on this podcast, can I just tell you?
I wear that with pride,
100%.
so,
Yes, you are. And you take us down disgusting rabbit holes.
I'm glad. I'm glad I'm here to do that. I have no problem with that at all.
Do you think it's it's like the private, right? The private has to be the Bukkake receiver, I would assume, in the
private
Roman...
being the lowest.
Yeah.
No, but they had way lower people. They had like porters and people that would just make the fires.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Blow the bugle. And... no, never mind.
No pun.
Sorry.
No pun.
Immediately.
Never mind. Okay, I want to run a theory by you, and I need you to help me crystallize it.
Okay.
Okay, because it's really vague and floating right now. But okay, so I was at a Pilates class, but this isn't about Pilates. Don't worry. I'm not going to tell 2 Pilates stories in a week. I don't want people listening to go, "Whoa, what a little Pilates girly this guy is." Look, I'm not trying to get you. I like it because my goal for this year, my physical goal, is to run a marathon.
Oh. What? Have you?
Yeah.
You've done a half, right?
No, I did yes, but I've done a full.
Oh, okay.
In 2019.
Right.
My goal was to do it in under 4 hours. I got injured before, and I didn't. I did in 4:04. I mean,
okay, that's pretty
maybe
good.
even without injury, it wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have reached my goal. But now that I'm, 5 years older, fatter, slower, more out of shape,
you're
I feel
not, but
time.
you're in better shape than you were 5 years ago.
I don't think so.
I think you're slimmer and trimmer.
Not right before the
You're
marathon.
definitely more toned.
Oh yeah, you know what's it's funny you say that. I was looking. Skeets just posted a picture from my old apartment in Toronto. Did you see it? Where he's stuffed into my fridge.
Yes.
A hilarious gag. I looked. I said, "Man, we used to have some fun, didn't we?" I haven't been even close to drunk enough in the last 5 years to remove everything from my fridge
And put a friend in there.
and help my friend fit inside of it. And this wasn't, I'm looking at my fridge now. I feel like someone could easily fit in that. But this fridge at the time,
Not a huge.
it was a real coup.
Yeah.
Anyways, why was I talking? Oh yeah. So anyways, I'm in the foreground. Skeets is in the fridge.
Yeah.
Oh, just lit beautifully by the light of the fridge.
Incredible shot. Who took that photo? It might have been Taz.
I think it was Daniela.
I was just about to say, it had to have been
Yeah.
Danielle.
Anyways, I look pretty chubby.
What?
Come on. That's
No, I do.
No.
Okay, can we post the picture now? Can it come up now?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to write that down. Chubby pic.
Chubby pick.
What was I saying? Okay, right. So there's this move called the newspaper, where you take the two straps and you hold them like this, and you open it like you're opening a newspaper, right?
Okay.
don't
Straps
look
of
at me
what? What are
blankly.
you talking? Oh, you're talking about
on the
Pilates. We're back to
machine,
Pilates.
right?
Sorry.
Yeah, we're back to Pilates. So you go like this, right? As if you're opening a newspaper. Everyone can picture what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Flipping through a newspaper. So the teacher says, as we're doing it, they're constantly they have that little Madonna headset mic, and they're just constantly trying to, hype us up. But
Yeah.
not in a good way.
Sexist teacher?
So we're, a what?
Is this the
Sexist
sexist one from last week?
No, this is no different one.
Okay.
And she goes, "All right, open those newspapers. Y'all remember sitting with your grandparents and reading the newspaper?"
What?
What? And then she goes, "Well, you guys are so young. I'm older than you, so I remember reading it with my parents." I'm like, reading it with your newspapers still exist.
Yeah.
They're available in every hotel, every news side
true.
stand you pass, every corner store. There's still newspapers.
Yep.
And I remember reading the newspaper without my parents. I was literate
Yeah. Same.
in the 90s and even into the 2000s.
Not anymore, though.
But I think my point is just that internet has flattened time so much that no one knows how to say. It's like as if something happened before the internet. It was so many years ago.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does this make any sense to you?
No, I
Why
hear
is
what
this
you're
person telling a group full of 30-year-olds that they read the newspaper with their grandparents?
Yeah.
That's my point. 30 years old, these people were born in the 90s.
Yeah.
There were newspapers in the 90s. They were literate.
Yeah.
I don't really understand. Anyways,
Time is a flat circle, man.
time is a flat circle, but then it goes the other way too, and this is where I need your help. Well, I really need your help the whole time, but have you also noticed that when people are talking about something that happened way before the internet, they still say the internet didn't exist?
Right.
Like I once heard someone say something like, "Oh, I remember finding out Nixon resigned from the paper the next day." You see, there was no internet at the time.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, we know that. But did were people in whatever year before the steam engine, they were like, I remember we rowed our boat to get here. The steam engine hadn't been invented at the time.
They're just
you know
going
what
to
I mean?
change time AD, like before internet, BI.
Honestly, that is a great idea. And why can't we have someone smart on the show? A sociologist or something.
I mean,
a historian.
Do you know any smart people? 'Cause I don't.
You sure you didn't take that headache medication?
Oh, I took it. I took the goofballs.
That's a different beast.
Yeah. So okay, right. So I guess the whole idea, but like the Nixon thing is like, just to illustrate, I didn't find out until the next day kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, but that persisted. Nixon resigned in what year?
71, I want to say.
Right. So that persisted for the next 9 years, and then the next 10 years, and then the next 10 years after that.
Right. Yeah.
There was presumably like 20 to 30 years after that there was no internet still.
Right.
I'm just saying, it's not necessary.
It's a touchstone
right.
for many.
But when?
I know,
but what's the date? What is the before internet and after internet?
Well, nail it down. And
because technically the internet did exist in 1971 when Nixon resigned.
Okay, Al Gore.
I'm just saying.
Of course, it was called ARPANET at the
Yes.
time, and we had a dream to connect computers. We had a dream to democratize everything. Unfortunately, the opposite happened.
Is it like iPhone? Is that the cutoff date?
No, I'm willing to say it's pre.
Okay. No, but when though? Because
Okay, so I'll tell you when.
okay, that's what I'm asking.
1998.
Okay,
Oh.
so iMac.
No?
The first iMac.
Yeah, I mean, there was phones, obviously.
Yes.
There was texting, though I don't really remember people doing it a ton.
No, because you had to use the number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
T9.
Yeah.
But there were Blackberries, weweren't there? Saw the
No.
movie, should know. No?
Well, you just watched the BlackBerry movie. What year did
Yeah.
that take place?
Maybe late 9. Well, it starts before they do. Anyways, it's not fucking important. I just think that, I think it's around the late 90s.
Yeah,
And I think
you're right.
I think that if this class that I was in was given in 10 years from now, people will still know what a newspaper is.
Yeah, I mean, I was subscribing to an actual like having a newspaper delivered at my house, even when we were living here in Atlanta. So the post 2013.
Yeah. Okay,
So-
well, let me ask you this. Was your first TV color or black and white?
Black and white,
Really? And
Yeah.
you were born in?
1970.
Right. That's my point. Black and white TVs were phased out by the late 60s. Or I should say, like, color TV existed well before
Yeah.
then.
Yes.
So,
But there was a high market item. Like we couldn't afford a color TV. Are you crazy? Like
okay, but I was born in 1981. I remember people having black and white TVs. I remember
Right.
seeing them. Or, like, sometimes those small little TVs would be black and white.
Yeah.
My point is that if someone said, television was once in black and white, I wouldn't be like, what?
yeah. Okay. Fair.
Right?
Yep. 100%.
Okay. Well, I don't think we figured that one out.
I'm still not clear what the problem is.
It's just time, JD. Time is the problem.
Time.
The time and the way we talk about it is
Right.
a problem.
Pilates
We think everyone that's
problems.
not us is like doesn't relate to us in any way.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
At the end of the day, we're all human. Big tipping disaster over the weekend too.
Oh.
Good. What do you? Yeah.
So-
like tipping
yeah.
something like a canoe incident, or
Sounds
what
like a
do we-
restaurant story.
It's a restaurant story. So
Shut it down.
my friend texts me this week and he's like, "Shit, are you free on Saturday for dinner? Because I booked a very fancy dinner for my wife and I, and then she had to go out of town, and I forgot that I'd booked it. And if I cancel now, they're gonna I had to prepay for the whole thing."
Oh, Jesus.
A fine dining emergency.
You better put out for that stuff. Yeah.
Those are my favorite kinds of calls in emergencies.
It's an emergency.
Sounded frantic.
Oh, you need me to do something delicious for free?
Yeah.
Did he pay?
Well, okay, so you have to pay for the meal, like not the drinks, but the meal in advance on your credit card, and then you lose it. So he was just like, just kick in, whatever you want.
Nice.
So we go, and it's like, it's fancy, but it's not like insane, like, suit jacket kind of fancy. It's a Michelin star restaurant.
Okay.
And, prix like, you don't order anything. They just bring you the stuff.
Love it.
And it was very expensive, like absurdly expensive.
Okay.
And so my friend gets the bill. I don't look at the bill, and I see him, like, sort of doing some math in his head and writing the tip. And I was like, whoa, that's a lot of numbers. Like, I didn't see what the numbers were, but it was too many numbers.
This is just for 2 people?
2 people, yeah.
Okay.
Now, we drank a shit ton.
Okay.
Because they're sort of famous for their cocktails. We had, like, honestly, I had, like, 5
Wow.
cocktails. Yeah.
You're training for a
I wasn't even
marathon,
hungover.
bro.
I honestly think that they were, maybe they were, like, dry January cocktails, and they didn't tell us.
Okay, so what happened?
So he leaves the tip. We walk out of the restaurant, and it was an early reservation. So then I'm like, you know what? Why don't we have a drink? Like, it's still early.
Yeah.
Or maybe, I don't know, dessert, something.
Sure.
So we look around. We're downtown. There's nothing really near us. And I'm like, oh, they had a bar in there. I know it's weird, but should we just go in and we'll sit at the bar and have a drink?
Okay.
And he's like, okay, yeah, sure. So we go down, and I'm like, magnanimous, like, I'll take care of this one. And so the guy brings the bill, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, huh. He's like, what? I'm like, oh, well, the gratuity is included. And so the bartender comes back. I'm like, oh, just out of curiosity, like, is the gratuity included just at the bar or in the restaurant as well? He's like, no, at the restaurant as well. Ooh. And my friend's face just drops.
So he double tipped.
Wow.
And he's like, but we're talking, this would have been a little, because,
yeah,
20% of a lot of money is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So 40% tip on, okay.
Yes. And the bartender, to his credit, because it's like in these Michelin stars, like, the service is so, almost personalized. I mean, almost stifling in a way. But, like, he looked at it and he said, did you tip twice? And my friend's like, yes, I did. And the guy was like, you know what? I'll go find your server. And they reprinted the ticket and they redid it.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That must happen quite often.
Yeah, you wanted to have. You remember, Rachel? We used to work. Hold up. Why was the tip included for a party of 2? I guess that's just their policy.
That's just the level of fanciness, I guess.
Okay.
Where, why wouldn't they? You know what I mean? If they know they're charging, whatever, 2 something per head, and then you can get 20%, or maybe it was 18% on top of that. You're keeping your staff pretty happy, I would say.
Yeah. But I mean, that was sort of the move, was to try to get double tips.
Where did you work that had an auto tip, though?
Well, everywhere that I've worked, if a party of 6 or more, they would
right.
automatically, yeah. And then
so you didn't tell them?
I mean, I actually did more than I didn't, but sometimes if I fucking hated them, I wouldn't mention it and hope that I got, double tipped. And then I would be like, vindicated when they only tipped 10% or like under 10%. Right. And be like, see, I wasn't going to get, like, so fuck them kind of thing.
Well, but how do you know they didn't see it and went, wow, this guy was such a good server, I'm going to top him up an extra 10%.
Yeah, right. Bad attitude, right?
Yeah. Well, I used to, if I was working with somebody that I hated, I would tell their parties of 6, hey, by the way,
oh, God.
The tips included.
Wow.
I went for real. I'd be clearing their dishes and be like, hey, yeah, I'm clearing their dishes on their table. Be like, hey, by the way, when the bill comes, just so you know, tip's going to be included. So.
Don't tip any more than that.
I was very vengeful back in the day.
Well, you know what you were doing? You were doing the analog equivalent of the algorithm. You were doing little tricks.
Exactly.
Your tipping algorithm was full of subterfuge.
Yeah, but in this case, it is the server's responsibility to let a table of 2 know that, by the way, the gratuity is included.
Especially when they see it. I mean, maybe they didn't. Maybe you left before they took the bill and put it.
No, you had. They have to say it.
You cannot move in this place without someone coming up to you.
Yeah.
And chef's menu, of course, is a sustainably focused seasonality. Is a things farmers market, small plates. Of course, starting the sauce, and then
kinda
it gets more
relaxing.
intense in flavor as the
part of the
and
service.
please enjoy these. Please enjoy these spices as a thank you from the chef. They literally they gave me a tiny dish of spices to take home.
Yeah. So
Like
somewhere.
in like a Carmex, that lip balm that's like in a little tub, and you just
sure.
unscrew the top and dip
Yeah.
your finger in. Isn't that size thing with spices?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. To spice what? Like your next omelet or something?
I don't know. But like they presented it like as if it was like 1,000 years ago, and they were like spices from the Orient.
Sprinkle this elixir on your pillow tonight, sire.
While you're masturbating yourself to sleep.
All right.
Sorry.
Oh Jesus Christ!
All
Rachel.
comes back to that.
Look,
Anyway,
you gotta go full circle, babe.
the server's responsibility to say, by the way, the gratuities is included. However, you can add, whatever. I'm
No,
trying to put.
I think that's kind of obnoxious. If it's noticeable that they like made a mistake, be like, you know what, it was included, guys. Like, you might want to fix this. Like, are you gonna assume people know how to fucking read? Like, I don't want to say, but you can add more.
No,
let me ask
just
you-
say it. You don't even say add
just
more.
say it's
People know they
included.
can add more. There's a line underneath.
Exactly right.
Right. That's fine.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. And it's not, these guys didn't even leave the restaurant. They were in the restaurant, and this server saw. This server absolutely saw.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they didn't say
100%.
anything.
Yeah.
And they just were
they
like-
should say.
They were just like, oh, I guess my service was so incredible, I deserve to be tipped twice.
Yeah, exactly. But also, it's like the kind of place where there's so many different people are coming to the table. I didn't even know who
Right.
the server was. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
It was really it took a village. It took a village to serve us two people who didn't say anything the whole time to anyone, didn't ask for anything specific. Just actually, my friend did ask for a paper napkin. Did take them a while. So really, he shouldn't have tipped at all.
Did they
Spit out some gum, and they've never seen anyone spit out gum in this fancy restaurant.
Should have brought a bucket for you.
So it was good.
It was good, but good in what sense? Like once you factor in how much it cost.
So not worth it.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
I mean, how
I
could
wouldn't say so.
it be that worth it? You mean
Exactly.
How many?
It would have to be
numbers?
every dish would have to be. You would have to say to yourself, "Wow, this is the best thing I ever tasted." It would have to be like a Wonka level of like flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen the original. I'm pretty sure Wonka is still sick with the flavors.
Yeah. That's a whole.
Or maybe it's the prequel, so maybe he's bad at flavors at the start,
Yeah.
and he's singing about it. He's singing how bad he is at flavors. He hasn't invented snozberry yet.
Ooh.
Snozberry.
Oh, Shyamalan.
Speaking of movies, I saw Killers of the Flower Moon.
And
As it was intended, over 3 nights.
on a black and
Multiple-
white 12-inch screen.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was great, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even watching it in 3 different sessions.
Well, it was the only way I watched it, so I can't compare it to anything else. But, no. I mean, I would have preferred to watch it all in one go, I think.
Yep.
But you don't have adult diapers.
But I was watching it with my son, and he had some homework to do, so he was like, can we put a pin in this? And I was like, yes. And then the next night, I was falling asleep, and so... anyway.
But do you think if it was like if it was like Die Hard, your son would have been like, can we pause it? I have homework to do.
Probably not.
Or do you think because
Probably
it was...
Well, you know what happened? This is what happened. We were, as a family, all 4 of us are pumped to see Napoleon. Don't at me. Don't, because I know people are like, wow, that movie's shit. But
because Rachel's probably like, whoa, there's going to be a lot of masturbation in that before they go into battle.
Yeah. That's her review. Not enough masturbation before the big battle scenes.
There's definitely an accent on the final E in Bukake.
Santé goût.
An accent aigu.
Anyway, Napoleon, we're all pumped. We're pumped to see Napoleon. It's Apple TV, but then I went to fire it up, and it's like, it's available, but we got to rent it for $20, or we could watch this other thing that's probably going to be nominated for all the awards. So let's just watch that for free. So we did. So that's it. That's the end of my story.
Speaking of awards, did you watch 1 second of the Emmys?
I didn't even know they were happening until this morning.
Either. God, tough for them on a football playoff night. Is it always that way?
No, it's because of the writer's strike.
Oh, right.
Everything got bumped. And I didn't even realize, because I saw all the creative Emmys were coming out, and it was just like, why is this happening in January? And it's like, oh, yeah, writer's strike.
I still, at 42 years old, don't have the rhythm in my body of when each award thing. Like, I know, like, okay, it's end of August. People are starting to go back to school. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's April, May, college is ending. Okay, now it's June, high school's ending. But I have no concept of when any awards should be happening.
Right. The Emmys was always a little weird to me because it was September. But I guess it's right before the new season of stuff starts, right? Like...
Okay.
I think that's why they had it in September traditionally. But
we just had Globes, Critics' Choice, and Emmys within like 1 week of each other.
Yeah, which is the Critics' Choice and the Globes sort of in the realm of where it normally would happen. But the Emmys was just pushed because of the writer's strike.
I gotta tell you, I heard Chelsea Handler clap back at her ex Joe Coy from the Critics' Choice stage.
I saw the headline, but I didn't see what the clapback was. Was it?
She said she made a joke, and then she said, "Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed that one. My writers wrote it."
Oh.
Remember, because Joe Coy said, I just got this job. I didn't write all these jokes, but the ones I wrote, you're laughing at, or whatever.
Yeah.
God, well, I watched Chelsea Handler, and was I rolling in the aisles? No.
Were you did you laugh once?
No. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say because I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched some bits of hers.
Okay.
They're just generally not that funny. I think that when history looks back upon Joe Coy's performance,
yeah.
Well, it won't be kind to him because it was also not good, but it will be seen as an over-exaggeration.
He's going to land right in the middle of a long list of mediocre opening monologues at the Golden Globes. I mean, and I hate to say this, but like the only time I've ever really laughed is Gervais.
Yeah. Because
he's, he fucking killed it, and I hated his last special, but.
Are they playing jacks upstairs?
Yeah,
Jesus
I actually was going to ask you if you were dropping marbles.
No.
Fuck.
That's coming from upstairs.
Knock it off!
Get off the shed. I don't know if other people have mentioned this, but I have been thinking, is it not possible? Because one of the reasons that Joe Coy has been slammed is because he made a joke about Taylor Swift.
It wasn't about Taylor Swift. It was about the NFL, but go on.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. But the basic joke was something like, the Globes are different or better. I forget how he put it, but we'll show Taylor less on this broadcast.
Right.
The joke being that this is an entertainment show. We should be showing her more, whereas the NFL is a sport that has nothing to do with music. But ironically, she's shown more in the NFL than in this entertainment show. I'm sorry for explaining that so hard, but like, I do think it needs to be explained.
And also,
this joke.
But the other factor is that yes, it's an entertainment show, and we will be showing a lot of Taylor Swift. And the joke is, you'll see even more of her on an NFL game. So sorry to explain the explainer, but
and it's not about anything that could be offensive. It's not about her singing voice. Nope. It's not about her personality. It's not about her body. It's not about the way she's dressed. It's not about who she's dating. Mm-hmm. I mean, in some oblique sense, I suppose it is about who she's dating, but it's not mentioning him by name or talking about who's the other guy?
Kelsey?
Jacob? No. Who's the guy she was dating before?
Oh, I don't know.
Jacob Elordi? No, the British guy.
I wouldn't know. I honestly wouldn't know.
Okay, whatever. It's not important. But my point is that is it possible that she was doing that thing where she's trying to add to the joke by looking pissed off at something inoffensive? Because we've seen people do this before, right?
Yeah.
Like someone will make a joke about, I don't know, Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Like, Robert De Niro's so old, blah, blah, blah. And then it'll go to Robert De Niro and he goes like,
Yeah.
or like pretend to, he'll be like,
Totally.
you know, like, oh yeah, I'm so old, I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
I can't think of a specific example, but I feel like you see that once in an award show where someone like tries to add to the joke by doing the thing that they're being accused of.
Right.
Or being so stone-faced that people laugh in the audience because it's like, oh, it's funny that they're pretending to be so offended.
Right.
Is it possible that she was doing that?
I 100% possible.
Okay, but that's certainly not the way it's been interpreted.
No, because everybody is so obsessed with Taylor Swift, and she's got this sort of like, what's the word? Like waiting for the king or queen to laugh. Do you know what I mean? Like, how's she gonna react? And she's as I saw there, she had a glass of champagne and she just kind of glared at him, like, you know, maybe playing it up, maybe whatever, but. Then all the Swifties go, oh my God, she's upset. That means we're upset too. Like boo, Joe Coy, boo. You know what I mean? Like that's how I interpret all of this.
Right. You're saying it's like, the only thing worse than the economy is the king's new haircut. And everyone's like, oh my God.
That's right. And then
this guy's about to be murdered. And then the king's like, my wife gave it to me. I told her it was terrible.
Exactly. And then it was like, the whole court bursts out in gales of laughter because the king is laughing. I guess, what's the show, like the show about Catherine the Great on Hulu. Yeah.
Well, it's either Catherine or the Great. Both working titles.
The dude who plays the king or whatever. There's the vibe there. It's just like, yeah, it's just subservient little lick spittles waiting to be given the permission to laugh at something. I mean, and you know, whatever. The joke, is it funny? I mean, I don't know. Actually, it was one of his better jokes, so I don't know.
The floor is so wet from the king carelessly spilling his drink. I thought that it was Roman centurions going into war. All right, it's quick housekeeping. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/isthisgood. You'll get ad-free episodes. You'll get episodes where we go back and we just take out all the jizz talk. Just take it out. We edit it out.
Never.
So you can listen to it with your children. You'll get access to our thriving community on Discord. You'll get an exclusive episode every month, which is actually coming out next week.
Oh yeah, we decided that.
Yeah, that's next. Well, can you commit to that?
I'm committing to it.
Okay, Rachel, do you know about this? Because you're
what is
involved.
this?
Because you and JD have to do a solo. Because I have to travel again
Is
for work.
this Patreon only?
It's
Or is
It's a
Patreon
Patreon only.
Patreon
So you could.
only.
That's when you can really air it out, Rachel.
Oh, the jizz talk I want.
Oh God. Okay. And remember, it's jovial, jizzy January. So.
Oh, January.
Okay, one piece of follow-up from the episode with Alana Johnson.
Okay,
Alana
yeah.
Johnson, sorry. So someone wrote in, I have a settle this that needs your attention.
Hold on, did you say
JD.
Alana
No,
or
it's
Alana?
Alana.
It's Alana.
Not Alana.
Well, we would say Alana, but in America they say Alana.
But she said it's
Okay,
Alana.
whatever.
Well, that's what she said her name was.
When she gets called up at the Emmys to win an award, they're going to say, Alana Johnston.
Yeah.
Don't enable that.
But that's not, we don't have to be part of that.
Okay, you're right. Okay, Alana Johnston. So JD, this one I need you to comment on. I have settled
Okay.
this that needs your attention. About 5 years ago, I took an entry-level job in a marketing role at a small company. On my resume, I said I had my degree, which I thought was true. The company was doing well, and I was lucky to be in the right spot at the right time and moved up through the organization. My CEO told me I should pursue my master's degree since everyone else in my role had their master's and more. But when I looked into it, I found out I am still 1 credit short of my bachelor's, and I actually have no degree at all. How did this happen, you ask? Well, I was living in a small village in Haiti taking my yeah, this classic excuse.
wow.
Okay, go on.
I was living in a small village in Haiti taking my final classes online with spotty satellite internet. All of my classes were complete and I applied for graduation and all was good to go. I had selected for the diploma to be mailed to my parents' home in the States and I considered it done. I later found out one of my previously accepted transfer credits was rejected in the graduation process, and I was left 1 credit short. I never thought about it again and 10 years later find out I don't have anything. So settle this. Do I tell my boss what happened and hope he understands what I recognize is kind of an insane story? Or do I quietly go about my life since this master's was only optional? I can continue and finish that last credit, but it will be 6 months before I finally graduate. That's from Stephen B. So we were talking on the Alana show about lying on your resume and whether that was okay to do. And similarly, you are in the same situation because you thought love was more important than scholastics, and you left the country to marry and honeymoon with your wife, and thereby you didn't pass 1 class and left you 1 credit short.
Yeah, that's a credit and a half, but who's counting?
Right.
So what's the question? To lie?
What do you think he should do? Should he lie?
But he doesn't need to tell him anything because he's not doing the master's. So if it's only going to take 6 months for him to finish the course, who needs to know? Why?
Oh, so you're saying he should like enroll in something?
If he wants to, but if he wants to do the master's, I mean, I assume the boss is going to help pay for that. That's why it came out.
Is it expected that he does the master's, I guess?
But yeah, okay, so fine. Let's say he says, no, I'm pretty busy right now. I can't do the master's. Maybe that's going to impede his ability to rise up the corporate ladder.
Right. Well, I think that it's fine telling the truth in this scenario.
So if you were his boss, you would believe this Haiti bullshit?
I don't think it even matters. He's been in the job for 5 years. He's been killing it. The boss takes enough interest in him to be like, hey, you should get your master's because everybody else has got him and you'll go higher in the company. So why not just say, oh, you know what? I looked into it and apparently I don't have my degree.
Oops.
Oopsie-daisy. I don't know.
It depends on the company. Honestly, some companies have it like,
yeah.
Okay, sorry, I know it's not your fault, but like we hired you on this premise that you had your bachelor's and you don't.
I mean, the safest thing to do is just to quietly finish your degree and then carry on with your life, I guess. But
yeah, and I would say get it from the shittiest university possible, like the worst online scammy kind of cheapest and price shop, because it's bullshit. You don't need this 1 credit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not going to
Total
change
bullshit.
your life. It's not going to change your intelligence.
No.
Can you?
So,
now this is just me fantasizing, but I always sort of my plan is to get an honorary degree.
You know that's not really in your control.
I know, but I just want to
How can he mess with the algorithm to make it happen?
That's right. I want to be like, and this would never happen, especially at, what is it? TMU? Will never happen at TMU.
Do they even
But usually people get honorary degrees not from the school they went to.
I know,
I don't think.
yeah.
Like you need one from Harvard or something.
Okay, yeah. So Harvard.
I'll take that.
Hit me up.
That's
Hit
good.
me up.
Or no, you know what would be a good example? Emory, because you're in Atlanta.
Okay.
Emory's a good school.
All right.
The Ivy of the South, I think I've heard said, maybe. I don't know.
I don't think they teach media, do they? There, it's
don't know.
more like the hard
Yeah,
sciences.
they do. They teach something.
They teach
They must
something.
because it's Atlanta and there's an industry, so I bet they do.
So I think I'm due for an honorary doctorate.
I could see a community college, but I don't know. Like a community college that specializes in podcasting, maybe?
What's that? There's not a thing.
You don't think there's a school that specializes in podcasting?
Not.
There's schools that specialize solely in like sports media.
Okay, yeah, I guess so.
Okay, or then maybe there.
Yeah, why not?
Imagine you get a degree from a school at sports media.
Matt, there's a
You go
chance,
and then the kids are asking you questions about sports.
There's a chance that I could be in the Sports Broadcasting Hall of Fame.
Hell yeah.
Okay, break it down for me.
Well, if they open like a podcasting wing, which is kind of inevitable,
Yeah.
we are the OG sports podcast. Like we were before
Yeah.
Simmons.
But TMU
Yeah.
won't even recognize
That's
that.
true.
And you went there. All of you. Like, they're like, fuck them. They're a disgrace. They went south of the border.
That's the dream. That's the dream at Ryerson/TMU, to go south of the border and be successful.
Agreed.
But anyways,
think they're putting Bill Simmons in there before.
I mean, okay, fine. He deserves to be there for sure.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, I don't. Well, do I think that you deserve to be there? That the show deserves to be there? Mm-hmm. I would say 100%.
You're just
based on how the show is based on. Like Skeets just went on a rant about how this whole Pat McAfee thing, how they were talking about how, no one's ever done this, like gone from podcasting to television. Mm-hmm. And he's like, in all the articles I read, not one person mentioned that we were a podcast. In 2006, before fucking podcasts were invented. We invented podcasts.
That's right. But
and no one mentioned it. And I think it's particularly would have been good to mention if anyone was paying attention, which clearly no one was, because we did sort of the same thing as McAfee at the start. Because his whole thing is like, there's no A block, there's no B block. Mm-hmm. It's just a free-flowing conversation. And when we got to NBA TV, we said, well, we already have this podcast, which is just like an hour and 15-minute long conversation, and people like that. And people don't seem to like TV as much anymore. So what if we just came and did our podcast, but on TV, in a studio, better cameras, graphics, video, and it will still be a podcast, and then we'll keep the integrity and the free-flowing nature of it and the spontaneity of it. And we tried to do that, and it's damn near impossible.
Yeah, it's hard. It is impossible because TV
for
is
many
different.
reasons. You got to put commercial breaks in there. Then you can't pitch out of the blocks, and anyway.
Yeah,
it's even more complicated than that, but I'm not going to go into it. But it would have been an apt comparison. But I just it doesn't seem on the tip of everyone's tongue. No. That's all I'll say.
Well, because when you think of grunge, you think of Nirvana. You don't think of the Pixies. You don't think of Husker Du. You don't think of the Pioneers, Matthew. That's what I'm talking about. We are the.
We could have been Mudhoney.
Oh God! Don't compare us to Mudhoney.
But I would say Pixies
true.
were a precursor, so maybe we are the Pixies.
That's what I'm saying.
But they all hate each other.
What's that?
What's a band, a precursor to Nirvana, but they're all still good friends?
Oh. Replacements?
No. Well, first of all, like one of them's dead.
No, I don't know.
Anyway, we'll keep working on that. All right, Steven, I can't remember where we ended up with you, but yeah. We kind of think you should do your credit.
Do your
credit, but take the dumbest class. Like something where you can like do all the required coursework in a day or less than a day.
Play the game.
Or while you're watching TV.
Yeah. Like the way Lincoln is doing his driver's ed right now, which is a 30-hour course. And he's just watching what's he watching these days? What's that show called? The car show.
Top Gear.
He's watching like Top Gears from 1998. Just clicking boink boink boink. But anyways, yeah.
What is he gonna get in the car?
He's into cars, man. This is the new thing. It's all cars. He's obsessed with cars right now.
Merged a bit quick, Governor. What is he going to learn from Top Gear?
Nothing. He's just enjoying the cars. But I'm saying like he's doing something else while he's doing this education thing, which is what we're recommending.
So do your thing, and then you can decide if you want to do the Masters. And if they're going to pay for it,
do it. Why not?
I'd say why not?
Yeah, it'll open doors. It'll open doors within the company. It may open doors into your life. Who knows?
And education is priceless, wouldn't you say?
I'm starting to. The bills are starting to roll in. Actually,
that's a pretty big price tag.
Okay. Oh, one thing we do have to discuss because we are recording this the day after the Emmys.
Yes.
Due to some scheduling conflicts.
I don't even know.
Elton.
Oh, go on.
No, what?
I don't know. I don't even know who won which Emmys. I saw Kieran Culkin won something, but anyways.
Oh.
Elton John EGOT'd.
Yes. Congratulations.
The 19th person to do so.
19. Wow.
Yeah, and according to the article I read, it said only 3 pop stars have done it.
Okay. Michael Jackson?
No. I honestly, I'm just going to tell you because I don't think you're going to get
pop stars. Hold on. Barbara Streisand?
No. What a crime.
Huh. Okay, I give up.
Yeah, John Legend and Jennifer Hudson.
Get out of here. What did John Legend for Jesus Christ Superstar? Is that what he won?
I do not ask me any follow-up questions.
That's a cheat. If that's
okay.
The
With
case,
John Legend, we know what the Grammys. I mean, I don't know what he won it for, but one of his schmaltzy songs.
Yeah.
And then wait, what? How would he have won an Oscar?
Maybe a song.
Yeah.
Oh, obviously a song. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Who cares?
But the Emmy is anyway. Go on.
Right. Anyway, so we tip our hats.
Of
to Elton
course,
John.
EGOT is great.
I would argue I don't know. Sure, Jennifer Hudson's got a great voice, but I think we can all agree that Elton John's catalog crushes both of theirs. Okay.
Totally.
So he has a house in Atlanta, which is something we've known.
I have my eye on it.
Well, it's too late. He just sold it.
Oh, he did? Ah, shit.
For $7 million plus.
Oh.
It's an apartment though.
Yeah, it's a
want an
penthouse.
Ooh, a penthouse would be amazing.
It's like it went for, I think he put it on the market for 4 something and it went for over 7.
Jesus.
Wow.
And it's apparently a very unique layout because he bought 1 or 2 apartments to start and knocked down the walls, and then as time went on and anything came up for sale, he would buy it next door, and apparently it's now 7 different apartments connected together.
That sounds great.
What a genius this guy is.
This guy. Anyway.
And Bernie Taupin decorated them all. It would be funny if Bernie Taupin has to do half of everything Elton John does.
Bernie Taupin has just as much money as Elton, right? Like, in terms of publishing.
No, I don't think so.
You sure?
Because, like, on the touring, like, why would he make half?
Royalties, man. It's half his songs.
Yeah, but ticket prices, merch.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, don't cry for
well.
him. He's doing fine.
He's doing
fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've never fully understood it, but in the article it said he wanted a place in America, and he didn't want the hustle and bustle of Los Angeles or the crime of New York. But that wasn't a quote, so I don't know if they were just extrapolating. But so he bought a place in Atlanta, and he's just sold it. So a lot of the stuff inside of it, like art or clothing or memorabilia, he's putting it up for auction. And it's called Goodbye Peachtree Road, which is a great name for an auction. I didn't know auctions had names, but I'm going to go ahead and say that even though this is the first auction name I've ever seen, it's the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's perfect. It's chef's kiss.
So they have, Chrissy's has like a listing of all the stuff in it.
Yeah.
That's a shit ton of stuff.
There's a lot.
I don't know, did you, I sent you the link.
I stopped after
hesitate
the
to ask
first
if you had it.
page. I'm like...
Oh, did you see anything on it that
Caught
maybe
your eye?
you would want me to buy for you?
Yeah, for sure.
What?
Okay, well, what was it?
Well, the prints that I like... Well, I mean, the art that I liked, I'm like, they're fucking prints. No, I don't want any
No, they're
prints.
photographs.
I know.
They're photographs.
Well, some of them were prints, though. Signed prints. Some of the art.
okay.
But yeah, like, I mean, a photograph that much? Jesus Christ.
Well, how much are we talking?
Like
what are you talking
thousands
about?
of
A
dollars.
Cindy Sherman?
I know,
Richard
I love
Avedon?
Cindy Sherman.
These are famous. It's art, Rachel. Just
But you
because they
can
didn't
make
take a
another
paintbrush
fucking
out.
print of it.
But that's
Oh my God!
photography,
Next, you're going to
Rachel.
tell me that my Bored Ape isn't worth as much because you could screen cap it. I am not giving up on my Bored Apes, Rachel.
But I did think a nice addition to the Classic Factory would be the horny sign. You light it up.
The horny sign.
Horny sign.
Well, you got the on-air sign. You light it up when
It
you're
was a
on
famous
air.
artist too, wasn't it? That made that horny sign.
I don't know. You had me at horny, so.
Did you see the thing that caught my eye was a Ryan McGinley photograph called Two Heads? Did you happen to see that? One head.
I did. No, thank
One
you.
head is a man's penis, and the other head is a snake wrapped around that man's penis. And it's just a close-up of the penis.
And again, it's just a photograph. So thousands of dollars for
just
a
a
Just a
photograph.
photograph.
Well, you
Wow,
got to
it's
get the
how
penis, you got to get the
disrespectful.
snake.
I want to know there's
What do
no...
you want? So you want the negative.
I want
You
the
want
negative.
the actual negative.
I want to know no other copies are being made and that this is the only one
Wow.
in existence. If I'm going to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for it.
But I'm sure when you do buy the photo, I mean, I know some of them they do print, but like they'll print one and then they'll print like, is it like a lithograph or like a less good version of that one?
Oh, interesting.
You can't guarantee that.
So you think the entire art world, like sculpture, you're okay with,
Yes.
painting, you're okay
Yes.
with, photography,
I just think
the whole
it's-
thing is a scam.
No, I'm just cheap. I'm just cheap.
You're just cheap.
I'm just
Okay,
cheap.
we're not actually. Sorry, Ansel Adams, you don't have Rachel Doyle as a customer anymore.
I love Cindy Sherman, but again, like, I can take click. I mean, how many copies of this is in existence?
Yeah, but
you have books that you can buy of Cindy Sherman. Just buy the goddamn book with all of her photos in it instead of spending $40,000 on one photograph that's just been printed.
which one was it?
You haven't really. Well,
He
it
has a
probably
few of
wouldn't
them.
stick out. She's just standing in front of a bathroom mirror with her cheeks out. It's lovely. All of her stuff is amazing. But
What do you mean, her butt cheeks?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. By the way, would it be a pro or a con to you to, like, I know we do not, nor will we ever have this kind of money, but would it be a pro or a con to buy a famous person's house? Because I have to assume that part of the reason this went for so much over asking was someone was like, a rich dude was like, oh my God, I can have Elton John's house?
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm the Rocket Man now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
yeah. You go through there.
But would it be positive?
Would it be a positive thing as a collectible or a...
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't know that it would move the
Hell
needle
yeah.
for me.
Yes, it would. Like socially, yes. You have a 7 apartment, not a 7 bedroom, a 7 apartment dwelling in what is it, Buckhead?
Yeah.
Probably.
And it's used. Elton John used to live here, and he lived here for 20 years or whatever it was. The cocktail parties alone,
Yeah, but
welcome.
his furniture's not there anymore. The thing that makes it Elton's in essence. Otherwise, it's just 4 walls or 7 times 20. It's 28 walls.
Oh, his
Fine, there's
essence
so
is
many-
there.
there's so-
His essence. You go through that with a black light. His essence is there.
He's gonna have it professionally cleaned, Rachel, before it's in the
come
contract.
on. Please, you can only do so
a
much.
black light. Yeah. This is
I think there
Elton
was
over here, and this is David over here, and this was a
Another David, and another
yes.
David, and
all
another.
all right. It was like a Roman legion in here before
Right.
battle.
boy.
It was, for
God.
sure.
God.
But yeah, I think yeah. I've looked at when Kenny Rogers' place went up for sale. I was like, God, I'd love to buy that place.
Was that in Atlanta?
Yeah. Yep. And it was like a couple of $1 million. Be like, God damn. This used
You
to be
put a
Kenny
poker
Rogers'
table in there?
place. You know,
Play the
yeah.
gambler?
So,
Oh my
Wow,
God.
I'm in the song! I'm in the song, honey!
Oh, wouldn't that
This is
be a
why I
great
worked so
picture?
hard at my job.
if Shaq ever sells his place, it's like
No, you don't want. I mean, remember Michael Jordan's place? Because we talked about it on the
Yeah.
show. It didn't sell for. It might still be for sale. It's got these giant gates that say MJ on them.
Right.
And there's like a circular bed with the Jumpman logo on it or some shit. It's like almost too
It's too Michael.
Michael. It's also probably a $30 million place in like a suburb of Chicago,
Yeah.
which is also
That's-
maybe hurting it a bit.
Yeah.
But I swear there was a guy, I think it was in Muskoka, who bought some like multi-million-dollar mansion on the lake. This is like Northern Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
And it had belonged to someone who was, I want to say, involved in some kind of securities fraud or something. But so he bought the place, and then I shouldn't even say crazies, people that were pissed off at this guy, that were swindled by this guy, would come to his house like looking for him. And the guy was like, wait a second, I didn't know that you were basically a criminal before I bought this place. And then he sued him to like nullify the sale.
Wow.
He was like, I don't want to fucking live here. I don't feel safe here.
Right.
So I don't know if Elton's got any enemies.
I mean, maybe, but
I think he has more friends than enemies.
yeah, he's a legendary rock star. I think whoever bought that place definitely overpaid for it, but is totally fine with it because of the cachet of it being Elton John's old place.
Okay.
That's
He
Will-
sounds like a simple man. I wouldn't. I
Will
wouldn't
this
do it.
person-
I want to put my imprint on my own place. I want to be the most famous person that's ever lived in my house.
okay, fair. You probably are right now.
Right now, in this piece of shit. Yeah.
No offense.
There was a pair of sunglasses. Obviously, Elton John famous for his sunglasses.
Yeah.
But it said in the Christie's auction listing, it said pair of prescription sunglasses.
I saw that.
From 1975. And I clicked on it. I was like, I wonder if they'll list what the prescription was. Thinking that someone's like, well, if I'm going to spend 15 grand on these glasses,
Yeah.
I'd like to know that they're minus 1.25, just like me. But they didn't, which says to me that the person buying them is not going to be using them.
Yeah. No shit. They're going to be put in a plexiglass case and put on display.
Yeah.
Well, I think the thing I'd like you to bid on for me,
Okay.
starting at $15,000, which I think is,
That's reasonable.
you guys pooled your money, it's doable. Something I will use, a signed Elton John collector's pinball machine.
Yeah.
And you'd listen to the
It's
song,
a cool ass
too?
looking machine.
Pinball Wizard.
Is it from...
He did do a cover of Pinball
Yeah.
Wizard.
Yeah, well, he's in the movie. Tommy.
Oh, is that what that's from?
Yeah.
Oh, I honestly did not realize that.
Yeah. He plays...
I more listen to the original cast recording, but that's just me. West End.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, the original cast recording would be The Who, because it was an album first.
Yeah, that's the one I listened to.
Yeah. Let's say. So Roger Daltrey.
Yeah. The original cast.
Roger Daltrey has all the characters.
I
And
will say that Elton John's
Townsend.
Pinball Wizard is not nearly as good as the Who's
No.
Pinball Wizard.
No. Not at
But
all.
I don't think there's... Actually, there probably is a Who-themed pinball machine.
Oh, 100%. There's got to be. But anyways, he sings Pinball Wizard in 15,000 for that is a bargain. An
Starting.
absolute bargain.
It's starting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And would you use it, or would you be afraid you'd break
100%.
it?
No,
Yeah, you got to use it.
Gotta use it. Where do you fit it in your house to not use it? Like,
Yeah. Is it Tommy branded, or is it just Elton John?
it's Elton John branded. And I think you would just have to do the math that he was in the
Right,
movie, which I didn't do.
But you still want it.
Still
Okay.
want it.
Yeah, that's cool. That would be a very cool addition to the Classic Factory for sure.
Lincoln,
Okay.
you're not going to university first year. We've made the decision. This
Or
is...
second year.
How high would you be willing to go in the auction?
16,000.
Okay.
I'd be out on the first one. You know what? Does everyone like me have the fantasy of going to an auction and doing that thing where you bid something up against someone who's very committed to purchasing it, and then at the end just be like, oh, man, you got me.
Yeah, just inflate
Now,
the
of course,
price.
you run the risk of...
Yeah.
But they can't I don't think it's legally binding.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always wondered that. Like, just I'm going to go buy a cow now. And just go to like a farmer's auction with where they go.
Oh, that kind of auction.
Yeah. Well, that's the most common kind of auction, isn't it?
That's more
livestock.
our level.
Interesting. Do you think people cross over? Like cattle auctioneers? Do you think they go to Sotheby's?
Hell
It's
yeah.
kind of like when you get like a soccer player to be the punter in football, or like a rugby kicker, and you're like, you do your scouting over there in Australia, and you find an Aussie rules guy to come over to America.
Yeah.
Take off the overalls. And put on the
Sotheby's
suit.
goes to America to find the cattle auctioneers.
Yeah. they must. And that job is too high pressure for me. Like, I would rather be an air traffic controller,
That's not high pressure.
which is high pressure, yes. But I don't know, man. Like, or a blackjack dealer, Like, that's just a lot of pressure. I think about
first
these
of all, I
things.
agree 100%. You're talking about with the blackjack dealer having to immediately say how much the other person has.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you got your...
when it's not a picture, when it's a picture card, I'm like, we're smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Here. Like I deal a jack,
That's right. Yeah.
and then the person turns over a 6. I'm right away. I'm going 16. 16.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a 7 and a 6,
Right.
yikes.
Right.
7 and a 7, I'd feel pretty confident saying 14.
Yeah. But you're dealing
7
with...
to 6.
And you're dealing with, like, gamblers who may be losing money and... there's all the superstitions and just like, you got to be so smooth. I'm always impressed by blackjack dealers. But auctioneers, I think, is the same sort of thing where it's like, hey, man, I raised my paddle, like, and you don't notice them. And you're like, oh, shit.
Oh. Well, yeah, that's another good point, because when they're like, do I hear 400? I see 400.
Yeah.
What if someone else at the back of the room did it before them?
Right.
Did they go, hey, excuse me?
Yeah. That's what I mean. It must happen. It must happen.
Yeah, and then there must be fights at these auctions.
Yeah.
Like I did my thing. This does feel like a infomercially. There has to be a better way. Like maybe, okay, like when you play Jeopardy,
Yeah.
it's not like you're raising your hand and Trebek had to figure out who raised their hand first. It's a computer system that tells him definitively this person buzzed in first.
Yep, that's right.
So shouldn't auctions run like that?
Yeah.
Everyone should get a buzzer.
Yep.
Maybe
And then it just appears. Like
the
it just appears. Oh,
tradition.
21 buzzed.
I think
Come
that's
with a lot of good ideas
That's
on
a
the show.
really great idea.
Thank you. All right, join us on Monday when we will have someone on the show.
Have you not decided how we're gonna release these?
Well, yeah, we do have one person booked, but we probably have to record two, and I don't know which one's going to come out. So.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna have a guest, an exciting guest.
Definitely
Well, the one that we
someone.
know for sure is a banger,
A banger.
an absolute banger.
And then actually in a couple weeks, we've got another banger coming up.
Yeah.
But it's this middle one. Who will it be? Well, tune in on Monday to find out. And, go back and listen to the Chris Martin episode.
Yeah,
Yep.
Chris was great.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he is in Coldplay. We found out. I wasn't sure when I pitched it
I
last
know.
time, but I talked to him. I was like, you're not the guy from Coldplay. He's like, no, I am, actually.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I loved you. Since Parachutes came out, you guys are great. He's like, thank you. I wrote all those songs.
Yeah, very impressive.
Congratulations. I
What?
said, how'd you feel when your drummer was on Game of Thrones? That was a little weird, wasn't it? He said, yeah.
Wait, in the Ed Sheeran scene?
No, he's in the Red Wedding, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
The Coldplay guy? Coldplay drummer?
See, I say things just off the dome, and I think they're true, but I think his name is Guy Berryman.
Okay.
Hold on.
That's pretty specific.
Yeah. He's a Scottish musician. Oh, he's the bassist for Coldplay. Okay. Well, we're going to have to Google who the drummer for Coldplay is. Should have asked Chris, because he knows, because he's in the band.
Yeah. Well, I never would have known, but the Chris Martin is the only one I know from Coldplay.
Oh, yeah, and which is this guy that we
The
interviewed.
guy that we interviewed, yeah.
Right.
Also,
So go back and listen to that.
very funny. Was not expecting Chris Martin from Coldplay to be so funny.
A double threat.
Yeah,
He might EGOT.
he could. He definitely could.
I mean, they've definitely won a Grammy already.
Yeah.
I don't know that for a fact, but you would have had to assume at some point they have.
Well, I don't know.
And maybe they've written a song for an Oscar movie.
It's a good question.
And there's going to be a Coldplay jukebox musical at some point.
You
No,
think?
there isn't. No,
Why
there
not?
isn't. A Coldplay.
What?
Okay.
Well, a musical is a play, and they have play in their name. So
I like your logic.
checkmate.
Opening on Broadway this fall. Yellow. A cold play. See what we did there?
The tickets are selling well. It's a hot play, served cold. That's right. It's Coldplay, the jukebox musical. Their songs don't have a lot of plot, like
Exactly.
I mean, like it's like in a Billy Joel song, it's like Brenda and Eddie,
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of
And
stories.
there's a piano man. There's things.
There's an Italian
you know.
restaurant where you can, that's set.
Yeah.
The setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's sets, there's settings. Coldplay. There's a scientist.
Yeah.
But the song's not even about a scientist.
It's not going to happen, Matt. Just
He wants
forget
it to desperately. Oh, he's working it through.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Trouble. I kind of dropped off after a while with the Coldplay.
Oh, but he's thinking about something totally different right now.
No, I am thinking about Coldplay. I'm just
Okay.
trying to think about how I can write a Coldplay jukebox musical.
I think you got
And
one.
I know it's not going to be easy.
It'll be one act off Broadway.
Do you think there'll be a U2 jukebox musical?
God, I hope not. But see, U2 is like they're the Sphere people. You know what I mean? Like, I could see Coldplay residenting at the Sphere for a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah. In their fucking sleep, JD.
Yeah. Are they?
Wait, will
that
there be a
big?
Taylor Swift jukebox musical?
Oh, that you can bank on.
Was there a
100%.
Madonna?
Yeah, she's got characters. She's got
She's got
characters. She's like TBS. We've got characters. No, what is that?
Sure,
I don't know.
TBS might be.
It's not important. All I'm trying to say is that Taylor Swift was trying to build on Joe Coy's jokes. So let's take it easier on Joe
Okay.
Coy, and let's
Wow.
take it easier on Taylor
That's
Swift. She's
I have not
very
heard
funny.
that take. Actually,
It's a good take.
that's a great take. I think you might be right.
Well, email me at isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Tell me if I'm right about my very controversial Taylor Swift theory. Also, tell me about your ideas for a Coldplay jukebox musical. I will steal them, and I will write it. Subscribe everywhere. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts. This was JD, Matt, and Rachel reaching out from the great beyond. We'll see you next week.
Bye.